Spanx, here we go. I filmed a lot of shows, as Beowulf has said, and in particular, I was filming a show and started up this unspoken connection with a big celebrity who I can't name because I'll get sued up the ass. But anyway, we started up this connection. We would always be staring at each other. We did the little eye fucking thing. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but like the intense stares or something's gonna happen. And we built up this whole relationship. We became friends. We became more than friends. We became the in-between thing for a while. And then on the finale, we did this big performance, and I was walking through the hallways and got pulled into this bathroom, and he threw me up against the wall and looked at me for like 2 seconds, and then we just started making out like crazy all over, on top of this, behind that, underneath this. And then he goes to rip off my dress, and you know, I was like busy making porn faces and stuff, so I was like lost in the moment, and he started laughing. So I looked up and I'm like, what? And then he's like, holy fuck, I've never seen Spanx that big in my life. No. Yes, I maybe was a little portly, according to UrbanDictionary.com, and trying to make my body slimmer for this finale of this show so I could look pretty on TV. But in the process, I forgot that I wore the big Spanx, the ones that come all the way up underneath your boobs and go down to your knees. So they're like fucking fierce. So, yeah, like the hot, sexy moment with the big celebrity, which was the first, you know, big celebrity that ever, like, cared about me, saw me in, like, a humiliating situation. So I'm thinking for sure we're not going to continue this. This was embarrassing. Oh, by the way, I forgot to also mention this. Spanx have, like, a little hole because they're difficult to get on and off. So they have a little hole so you could just conveniently squat and go to the bathroom. So, needless to say, those Spanx didn't come off during that whole thing. But, don't act like you guys haven't done that, thank you, God, wait a minute. So, okay, so we actually end up starting up a relationship. He thinks it's funny, he was willing to move past it, but he does call me Spanky every single conversation that we had, which ended up being my nickname for a very long time. So basically we get into this relationship, we build, it's great, but I start getting nervous and my trust issues start taking over, and I feel like, what is so great about me? Like, I think I'm great, but like, you know, he hangs out with like Victoria's Secret models. He's at dinner with huge celebrities. He runs with the biggest agents and managers, and like, he's the shit. So I can't really trust this person. We're from different worlds. We're different people. So I overwhelmingly continued to put on a front. I tried to be exactly what he wanted. I tried to be better than the things he had had. And we were separated because we lived on different sides of the country. So we began to text message. We would have phone sex, which led to this thing called Skype. Does everybody know what that is? So we decided we were going to have like Skype sex because it was just so intense and passionate, and like we had to see each other doing these things. So I'm like, fuck, I don't even have a Skype. I had to pretend like I've done it a million times. So I call my girlfriend, and she comes over and sets me up with a Skype because I don't even understand how to use that shit. And I'm like, okay, like, what do people normally do? And she's like, well, you know, you just look sexy, push up your boobs, like, whatever. You talk dirty, and you guys touch yourselves for each other. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so weird. You know, like, I'm not going to be good at this. So she's like, listen, don't freak out. Take this pill. It'll calm you down. Yeah. So she gave me a pill. She told me it's very important with Skype, if you want to be like this guy's first amazing one, they're better than the others, that you keep it casual. You don't want to look like you're trying too hard. You don't want to look like you're desperate. I think Kim Kardashian coined that word. So, anyway, I didn't want to look desperate, so I got to the house, and by the way, this pill that she gave me is something called a Klonopin. And that bitch is sitting in the back right over there. If you guys want some drugs later, she's available. But, so she gave me a Klonopin, which I still to this day can't even explain. I think it's something like a Xanax on steroids. So I first decided I'm not going to take that, I'm just going to be me. So I get all done up and I think like I'm going to look like I just got out of the shower. So I'm going to get my hair wet and I'm going to be like light makeup. I mean, I like fucking prepared the lighting, like I had this thing down. You can lift your computer up a little higher and it gives you better angles with females just in case you have Skype sex. So he's like, okay, we planned this session for, I don't know, 9 p.m. So I get all ready, I jump in the shower, I put my Spanx on because I was going to wear a tight little tee and I wanted to look skinny. Put my Spanx on, put my tee on, rush over and like get sexy in front of the computer. He's not there. 10 minutes, 20 minutes, text message, hey, I'm caught at work, we're going to have to, move this a little bit back. 30 minutes, an hour, continues on. I'm jumping back and forth from the shower back in front of the computer, like my fucking hair kept drying up. The shit was crazy. So, I keep jumping in the shower, trying to get it perfectly wet. I had like so much product in it. It was crazy. So finally, I remember, I had my glass of wine. I had a few glasses at that point. I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. Like, I feel so stupid. I'm just going to take this pill. Popped the pill with the drinks, and then I got a text message from him saying, 10 minutes, let's go. So I'm like, okay, let me just jump in the shower real quick, get my hair wet. So, that's all I remember. I know I was going to jump in the shower. Okay, so I wake up in the morning, and I had the best fucking sleep I have ever had in my life. So I wake up in the morning, and I'm like real confused. I don't know what happened. I don't know what, I'm not even sure where I'm at. I look at myself, and I was naked except for my Spanx. And I had wet hair. So I didn't know what had really happened. I thought, okay, maybe I just passed out. Let me check my phone. So I got my phone, and it rings as I'm going to grab it. So I pick it up, and it's this girl, Toby, that I traveled around the world with on this program called Semester at Sea. And she's like, oh my God, like, it's so good to talk to you. It was amazing last night, etc. We got in this whole conversation about life, and like, you're just the coolest. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still trying to figure out what's happening. And she says, so, you told me to call you this morning and wake you up. I was like, oh, okay, well, girl, sorry, like, I took a pill last night, I don't remember, but cool, it's great talking to you. So then I look at my phone, and there were literally 4 international phone calls. Apparently, I got inspired from what Toby had said to call people from Semester at Sea in different countries that I had become friends with. And apparently, I was on the phone with these people for no less than like 40 minutes. I don't remember any of this. Then I check my text messages, and there's a random number, and it says, that was so much fun. Good night, my little Jamaican princess. No idea what that's about. I to this day do not know what the fuck that was about. So then I open my computer, and the Skype session is up, and it's ended. And like, you have the ability to type, and it says ended, and it says how long it went for. It went for 1 hour and 45 minutes. And then the last thing in the text box said, Spanx a lot. So later, I find out that I was literally on this Skype session in my fucking Spanx with no clothes on, boobs out, wet hair, makeup dripping down my face like a crackhead. So needless to say, like, my fantasy of being his best Skype session probably didn't come true. Most interesting, yes. But again, he thought that it was lovable, and he liked me more. This guy's crazy. So we continue on. The first incident was horrible. The Skype incident was horrible. Now I'm going to New York for another show, and I'm going to see him. So I get all ready, and this time he wants to introduce me to his friends. We've been dating for a while. We're throwing around the I love yous. We're happy. So I go to New York, and I'm meeting some of his best friends, these big people that own big shit, and I want these people to like me. So I get this extra small Spanx that is like, and when I tell you, you are like Nicole Richie back in the day when she was like eating disordered out, skinny. So I put the Spanx on, I got this like tight black dress, I walked in this restaurant, like hair blowing in the wind. It probably wasn't really blowing, but that's how I imagine, like, see it. My hair was blowing, I was just like the chick to bone in the restaurant, okay? Which felt great. Obviously all his friends wanted to bone me, he wanted to bone me. I was like, fuck, thank you, Spanx, thank you, extra, extra small. They make an XXL, it's amazing. So I get back to his hotel and I'm like, I'm not going to mess up this time. I'm going straight to the bathroom before anything crazy happens, and I'm going to take off the Spanx. So I run to the bathroom and I start to try to take these things off. It takes a fucking village to It is not easy, and these things were not coming off. And when I tell you, when you try to squeeze something bigger, an extra, extra small Spanx is not cute. So I pretended, I knew that I wasn't going to get these off unless I asked him to help, which I'm not doing, my pride is not allowing that. So I acted like I lost one of my earrings downstairs in the lobby, and I needed to find it because it was like my favorite pair of earrings. So I ran down, had this whole fucking discussion with this woman at the front desk that doesn't allow scissors to leave the front desk of the hotel. God forbid, $4.99 fucking scissors are standing in the way of me and my dude. So I get this whole thing with her, I give her my credit card, I take the scissors, I run back upstairs, I chop these things off in the bathroom. I'm like, what do? I don't have my purse, I have nothing in here. So I'm like, if I throw them in the trash can, he's gonna see them. So I rolled them up, and you know how they have the towels rolled on the like thing? So I rolled them up and I shoved them like inside the towel. So there's no, I'm gonna get them in the morning, duh, like whatever, so it's fine. So we have like amazing sex, it's great, I like excelled, I did so good at being like the hot girl that he's with, all the friends loved me, I was like on my way to being like the cool celebrity girlfriend. So, which is fucking lame, but anyway. So, we wake up in the morning, he goes to the bathroom, I'm like passed out, we like did it every which way, so I'm like dead. He's in the bathroom taking a shower, I kind of hear the shower, I remember just hearing little things. Then I immediately remembered that I put these Spanx in a towel. So I'm like, okay, chances are he's not going to use that towel. Okay? Chances are it's going to be cool, so I'm okay for now. He's up in there, comes out, and I'm sitting here pretending to sleep, like, you know, your eyes flicker when you're trying to pretend, like, trying to look all cute. And I look over, and I open my eyes, and he had my Spanx, my cut Spanx on his head. So he said, and then he said, you know, Aubrey, you can never trust a woman that wears Spanx because she's already lied to you. So that was his cute way of saying, stop doing this. And then that was also kind of my moment of knowing, like, I don't have to live in my trust issues. Like, I don't have to, like, spend my life constantly trying to hide and lie about who I am. Somebody's going to love me for me, every embarrassing little factor. So, oh wait, honey, wait. So I'm like super happy. I go back to my hotel, I'm like in it, not even of the sex, but just the fact that he did that, the fact that he loved me. Women, we cover up things all the time about ourselves, and the fact that you're exposed and somebody really loves you still, it's like the best feeling in the world. It feels like love, whatever love is. Guys, like same thing for you when you guys have small penises and we love you anyway. So anyway, oh, you didn't like that one, did you? Okay, so I get home and I'm like super excited. We're both working all day and we didn't have plans to hang out that night, but we were going to leave on a vacation the next day. And I'm like, you know what? I need to show him that I'm not a lie, that I love him, that I can put down my trust issues and be in this relationship. So I put on the jacket, and I'm like, I'm not going to wear any Spanx. I'm going to show up at his hotel, like, so cliche, in a jacket with nothing underneath it, and, like, pumps, and, like, be sexy, and no Spanx this time. So I call him and he's at home. He ended up going back home and I'm like, okay, well, you know, what are you doing? Nothing, going to bed, long day, whatever. I'm like, okay. So I go to his place and I'm like, this is going to be my moment, right? Go up to the door, knock, 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 nothing, lights are out. I'm like, okay, I must have fallen asleep. He's not hearing me. Call a bunch, nothing. So I'm like, all right, like, whatever, I'm going to see him tomorrow. So I start to walk back and I notice his car is parked out front. So I'm like, okay, he's probably there. Like, why would his car be here? And then I looked up and I saw a light come up in his place. So I go back, knocking on the door, starting to feel those trust issues in my throat. I'm like, this motherfucker. Knocking, 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 nothing. Call, like one of those crazy bitches that calls 13 times. Nothing. I'm pacing back and forth outside the house, like, okay, calm down. This is okay. He loves you. This is fine. Like, but he should be answering. I must have stood outside that house for a good 15 minutes. Finally, the lights come on throughout the house. Door opens. He's looking disheveled. He's like, God, babes, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, you know, I wanted to surprise you. You know, I'm here, look, kind of cute. Got a Spanx on. And then he's like, that's so sweet. Like, but I'm tired. We have to work tomorrow. We're leaving. Like, calm down. It's fine. Don't let your trust issues get you all crazy. So I'm like, yeah, I feel so stupid. Again, I'm embarrassing myself in front of this guy, you know, and now it's not the Spanx. It's not the external cover-up. It's the internal shit that's coming out. So I turn around and I start to walk out, and I look up the stairs, and I notice the door to his bedroom is closed. I'm like, I don't know about that. So I'm back around, I'm like, so there's nobody in here? No, I'm like, is there anyone in here? Hello? Anyone in here? Like, screaming. Nothing. So I'm like, okay, I'm just crazy. So he's like, yeah, we gotta wrap this up. I gotta go to bed. We start walking, puts his arm around me, kind of pushing me a little. And it was nothing but that tiny little push I could feel in his hand. I was like, this shit is not right. He's pushing. I'm thinking of the lights off, the car, the going to bed early, the door closed, the push. And I'm like, hold up. He was like, literally had his arm around me, so I did like one of those NFL, like, you know, those things they do. I like went around his arm and I matrixed my ass to the fucking sliding door, which he had to open. So I'm like, I know all my angles, right? I'm like spot things really well. So I know I'm not probably gonna be able to get up those stairs because he'll block me. But I know if I can maneuver around, I can head straight out the sliding glass door into the window. So I run outside, push through this fucking window. He tried to stop me, but couldn't even touch my force. Push through this window and saw a naked chick on his fucking bed. So I dove through that window. His fucking laptop went flying. The lamp broke. Everything on the desk, was like a desk in front of us. Everything broke. I like tumbled over like 3 times. And I don't know why, this is like such a random detail, but like I went over to see if she was alive. She was laying there in the bed and she had her naked, legs spread open. I saw everything, girl. Sarah, you want to talk about a waxed vagina. So, totally waxed, legs spread open. I could see the scars from her crappy tit job. This chick was horrid. So I ran up and I immediately took her pulse. I'm like, are you alive? She's like, she's all fucked up. And I'm like looking at her, I'm shaking her. I'm like, are you alive? Do you know where you are? And she was like, I was like, I'll tell you where you fucking are. You're in my boyfriend's fucking bed. Dropped her. This bitch is no use to me. I'm sitting there. He's trying to get in from the other side now. I'm sitting there shaking. I'm almost like, I don't know, it sounds so ghetto, but like I wanted to hit her. I don't know why, because like it's so like Bad Girls Club. But for females, and if you've ever been cheated on females, like women want to go after the woman first. It's like so stupid that we do that. But anyways, I'm about to hit this girl. Like, I really don't like her. And I looked over at the chair, and there were all her clothes on the chair. And she had a pair of fucking Spanx. And I realized her and I were soldiers in the same war. We were both doing the same thing. We were the same person. So anyways, needless to say, never talked to the dude again, never even knew who the girl was. And I guess, you know, thanks can tie into my Spanx. Like, thanks, Spanx, for showing me this guy's a piece of shit. And also, I think the moral to that story is Spanx do not lie. Men do.